Nice to see you. Welcome. How was your day? I did 2 walks today, so that's a 4-hour walk total today. I'm so proud of myself. It was so hot today. I went this morning, and then this evening I went, and just after the rain, and I feel good. I'm endeavoring to exercise, get back into my exercise routine. So I'm used to doing 4 walks a day, but that was before menopause hit. So we're still gonna go for it. Still gonna challenge myself, push myself through this. The change will not change me. That's how I look at it. But how you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, everyone. Okay, so let's make sure the volume, I think the volume is turned up. Yeah. So I'm just a little bit sleepy and probably going to be a little bit overtired just because I've done the 4-hour walks, and I just came back from a walk an hour and a half ago. So I've got my protein shake here. So I'm sipping on that to keep me awake. And yeah, it's good. It was a good day. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so happy because I managed to sing and worship God as I was walking, and I was talking with him and sharing with him and just being one with him, and just what I normally would do. When I was on the farm, I'd go for walks and just talk openly to him. You know, God, what do you think about this? God, I want to do this. God, I want to do that. And I found myself for the first time in many, many years, that's what I was doing on my walk, just sharing with God my thoughts. And it felt so good. So thank you, God, for your company. We get to talk to him whenever we want. Hello, Resistor. Hello, Cynthia. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you all. Hello, everyone. Come on in. My name is Shannon Gilmore, and you are watching Positively Spiritual. I am a crisis outreach mentor and a life guide, if you want to call me that, a life coach. But you know what? I'm going through this with you. So, you know, I'm just a guide, and I'm here to offer information. And if that information works for you guys, then take it and run away with it. Make it your own, and just promise me that you'll use this information to help heal you. Whether it's a little tiny bit of snippet of information or a lot of it, you know, take notes, whatever. Ask me questions you want to quiz me, or not really quiz me, but if you have questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to email me at shannongilmore@protonmail.com. My email is in the description of this video. Resistor says, Jesus is my friend. Yes, he is. I talk to him a lot lately. Ah, that's awesome. That's so nice to hear. Isn't it just wonderful? You know, it's just so nice that God is near us. And it's just so nice to just, you know, kick the ego to the curb, so to speak, and just be with God. Like, just be with him and not have those invasive, intrusive thoughts, and just be yourself in front of him. That's what it's about. It feels good to finally get to that place. So tonight we're going to talk about the narcissist, because there is something that needs to be said. Most people don't talk about it when it comes to narcissism. This is something that lives underneath the surface of everything we thought we understood about manipulation, control, and emotional abuse. The truth is, the narcissist isn't just about grandiosity or ego or someone being full of themselves. It's about emptiness, deep soul level emptiness. And it's that emptiness that makes them so dangerous, not because they're powerful, but because they're desperate. You want to hear that again? The narcissist is dangerous not because they're powerful, but because they are desperate. Desperation is the next level, well, closest to panic. When you panic, you cannot see clearly, you cannot reason clearly, you cannot rationally think clearly, you cannot think your way out of a problem. When you're panicking, it's like you're thinking, your frontal lobe just shuts off. And it's everyone save themselves. So this is what makes the narcissist extremely dangerous, because they're desperate. And that's the part that we often miss. We think narcissists act the way they do because they're so full of self, so sure of themselves. Well, that's a front. They act that way, but the truth is they act that way because they are void of self. They are not whole. They have no stable identity. They are fragments pretending to be a person. So what you're interacting with is a mask, a constructed self that feeds off the identity of others to stay in place. And you already know that. That's why when you enter into a relationship with a narcissist, it feels magnetic at first. You see yourself in them. You hear your own voice. You see your own values. You recognize your beliefs as they're reflected back to you. And it feels like coming home, but it's not home. It's only a mirror. It's a trap. Because narcissists study people like you, and not because they admire you, but because they need you. We did a study about a month ago on this, how predators watch the way you walk, watch the way you hold yourself, if you're slunched over, or if you're, standing upright with a straight back, shoulders, out, shoulders up, and your head straight, and you're observant, and even the way you walk, your pace. You pace yourself in a walk. A narcissist, a psychopath, can pick out in a crowd who is the most vulnerable person. So the narcissist studies people not because they admire you, but because they need you and because they know who can be better manipulated. They need your empathy. They need your attention. They need your emotional responses to give shape to their false sense of self. But they don't just mirror your interests. They mirror your soul. They sense what you long for spiritually, emotionally, and intimately. And they reflect that back to gain your trust. But we know it's not real, but we notice that it's not real when it's too late, when they've gained our trust. And as soon as they've gained our trust, they pull themselves back, or they begin to reveal their true nature. And their true nature destabilizes us. See, they can only hold up that mask for so long, because just like I've said this before, just like how it's uncomfortable for us to tell a lie. Yeah, it's really uncomfortable for us to sit there and, try to play pretend and be less than authentic. It's really hard for us to tell even a white lie most of the time. Sometimes we can get away with it, but most of the times we're just not. No, we'd rather not. We'd rather just say nothing or tell the truth. And try to put the truth as delicately as we can, because we don't want to hurt somebody. See, Our truth telling is the opposite of the narcissist. Their telling a lie is a truth for them. And when they have to hide who they are, when they have to basically hide themselves behind what we perceive as truth, but they're not being authentic. And so they're putting on a show for us. It's like, you know, being nice to us probably makes them want to barf, you know. And so they try to earn our trust as quickly as possible so that they don't have to keep putting on a facade any longer than what they need to. So they can only hold that mask for so long. And eventually that mask slips, or they let it slip. Hey, Scarlett, nice to see you. Welcome, come on in. So the admiration from the narcissist ends up turning into criticism. And the support turns into subtle sabotage. The warmth turns into cold indifference. And you're left wondering, oh, what just happened? I thought I was dating a real cool guy. I thought she was like a real cool chick. Like, what the heck? Well, what happened is that the narcissist never actually bonded with you. They bonded with your energy, your goodness, your essence. Well, it's not really bonding. They led you to believe that you were bonding. But when they couldn't keep, like, they can't keep extracting from you, because your light starts to show. Because when you fall out of that limerence phase is the idealization in the relationship where everything is good. It's kind of like the honeymoon phase. But after the limerence kind of fades away, then you settle into the comfortable phase where there's peace in between you guys, and you just settle into a happy medium, a harmony. Well, narcissists don't like harmony. They don't like peace and quiet. They have to destabilize the relationship because that's what makes them feel good. They like that emotional high. That's what the emotional high they're seeking. They're not seeking the bonding. Well, they can't produce the bonding hormone. So they seek the adrenaline from the highs and lows of the relationship, the thrill of the chase. But when you stop chasing, they're like, what's up? Something's wrong. She's lost interest, or he's lost interest. What's going on? I got to breadcrumb some more to get their attention. So in a healthy relationships settle down. There's harmony. There's peace. There's a sense of calm. But when the narcissist reaches that phase with you, they get extremely uncomfortable. And they react to it. So they start to resent you for it because they expect you to always bring excitement to the table. Because you, after all, don't know this, but you're in a relationship with the narcissist to entertain them, to make them happy. Oh, yeah. And when you don't perform, well, that's when the relationship starts going sideways. And this is one of the hardest things to accept, that they don't actually love you. Not because you're unlovable, but because they can't. Can we understand that finally, after all the information we've learned from the DSM-5, the Diagnostical and Statistical Manual of Psychology, and going and reading, scientific journals or psychological journals, and reading this article and going to this video and that video, and, just reading through scripture even, and going through our experience. Our own experiences tell us that the narcissist is incapable of love. Love you like a rag doll. Exactly. That's well said. Yes, the resistor said they love you like a rag doll. Yes, they do. And it's hard to accept. But it's they who lead us to believe that we're unlovable. But love requires presence, empathy, humility, all of which the narcissist is absent of. Hi, William. Nice to see you. Tell us something we don't know. Haha, yeah. We're going over a review tonight, right? Because we're dealing with our egos, and your ego is very difficult to tame. Your ego doesn't want to be convinced. So in order to start believing the truth, you gotta go through things over and over and repeat until it's ingrained in you, until you know it like the back of your hand. So love requires presence, empathy, humility, and narcissists are absent of this. They're emotionally, spiritually vacant. There is no one truly home upstairs or inside of them. Yes, resistor, it's nice having reminders. And Scarlett says repetition is important. Exactly. I'll tell you, the more I'm getting some out of this, the more we do repetition on these videos, oh my gosh, I'm just, it's amazing. You guys are, I see this, that you guys are learning a lot too by your responses in the chat. And some of you guys are talking to me in the emails, and yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to see how far you've come. So keep going. Hi, Invisible. Can't help the walking dead. Let them be. Exactly. Well said. Well said. So nice to see you guys, by the way. Nice to see you all here. Welcome and come on in. So the narcissist is, emotionally vacant. There's nobody home. The lights are on, but nobody's home. That's what my mother used to say, my foster mother. She used to, say to us kids, the lights are on, but nobody's home. Didn't really understand what she was saying at the time, but now I do. And wow, pretty insulting. But that is a narcissist. And here's what makes it even more painful. That even though you know who the narcissist is, you can't help but love them. You can't help but think and wish and want them to change. And the more peace you find, the more spiritual clarity that you embody, the more healed that you become, the more dangerous you are to the narcissist's false sense of control, and they hate you even that much more. They hate your peace, they hate your light, they hate your calm, they hate everything you stand for, because you are everything that they are not. Remember, there's a competition going on between you and the narcissist, and this is where they will never, ever, ever win. So instead of them leveling up to your caliber, they've got to knock you down to their caliber. They got to lower you. Just think how sick and twisted that is. They don't want to strive to do better by being better. So what do? They attack your character, undermine you, in order to get you to fall down on your face and emotionally be at the same level as they are. So that's when they start comparing you. And they're like, huh, well, I'm not as crazy as that. I've never acted that way. You see how twisted and sick and dangerous that is? That's some kind of evil right there. And how they level you down to their level. Hey, William, nice to see you. Welcome. Married to one, 46 years, finally said bye. The narcissist does not ever change. Run like the wind. Don't hesitate. Wow. Wow. Well, congratulations. How you feeling after leaving? How long has it been since you left? So the narcissists, they try to create crisis. They provoke, they accuse, they fabricate stories, all because they want you off balance. Because when you're calm, you're clear. You're thinking straight. You're thinking with the brain up here, right? And when you're thinking, when you're rational, you then see them for who they are. And that's what they fear the most, to be seen by you. Narcissists do not want you to heal. And many narcissists don't even, they may say that they want to heal, or they wish they weren't like this, or they go to therapy, or they start going to church, but this is just all a show to make putting on appearances like they really like who they are. They don't see anything wrong with who they are. They see everything wrong with us. So they'll use therapy speak, they'll pretend to heal because it looks trendy, and they'll speak the spiritual language, the trauma narratives to appear enlightened. I got swindled by that. Oh my goodness. They may even start coaching or teaching others using words like empathy and boundaries and consciousness. But listen closely, because their fruits will tell you everything if their words are full of light, but their behavior causes pain. You're not dealing with somebody who wants to heal. You're not dealing with a healer. You're dealing with a predator in a new disguise. So watch out. They want the image of healing, but not the transformation. Because transformation requires facing the truth, and the narcissist is terrified of truth, terrified of the shame, the emptiness, the accountability. So they deflect, project, manipulate, and perform, and it's not personal. They'll do it to anyone who steps in their way. The pattern never changes. The only thing that changes is the face of the supply. That's it. And that's why it hurts so much when we finally wake up, because we thought we were special. We thought the connection was real. But it wasn't love. It was just performance. And the performance was never about you. That's something hard to understand. Many of us who are dealing with narcissism, like even if you're dealing with the discard a year, 2 years after, 3 years after, this is something that is really hard to understand, because the relationship felt real to you. And it was real to you. It doesn't have to be like your feelings were real. And your feelings were built on a false narrative. But that does not change who you naturally are. Just because the narcissist is fraudulent doesn't mean that your side of the love was. Because guess what? The fact that it's hard for you to heal tells you everything. That your love is unconditional, whether you love a narcissist or whether you love a regular human being who has all the love in them to reciprocate and give back to you. Wanting and seeking knowledge and truth is the only way out once you know. It's no contact, no reaction, and silence. Exactly. Exactly. Well said, resistor. So, a mind once expanded never goes back to its original dimensions. Don't close your mind. Well said, invisible. So William says 7 months, free like the 60s. Yes, creative, free, totally energized. Good for you. Mine hid behind Christianity as her authority over others, myself included. Thanks for speaking out. Yeah. Wow. Hi, Joe. Hi. Nice to see you, Joe. Wow. Wow, William. Well, you know, there's wolves in sheep's clothing, and God warned us of them, didn't he? Yeah, he did. So understand that the narcissist is just performing. And it was never about you. It's always about them. But your love is always about you. But for them, it's about what can they take from you? How long can they keep you emotionally invested so that they can get this constant source of supply? And it was also about whether they could fully and completely control your spirituality. That's ultimately what the name of the game is. The deeper truth about the narcissist that many of us do not want to ever embrace is that the narcissist will punish you for loving them. Why? Because they have no empathy. What's the opposite of empathy? Apathy or indifference. And it takes, like we talked about in our live this afternoon, that we treat, or people treat us the way that they see us treat ourselves. Well, the narcissist is going to treat you the way that they treat themselves. We always go to the path of least resistance. It's human nature. And human nature is, well, it's easy for me to treat myself this way, so and I'm okay with it, so it's got to be okay for you. And the narcissist, they will punish you for loving them. It looks like punishment from our perspective, but really from their perspective, how would we expect the narcissist to act if you know that they don't have any empathy, you know that they have no love in them to give? So how else would they expect it? How should we expect them to act if they'd never known love? It's like a feral child. A feral child who was raised by wolves, and, you know, they were abandoned by their parents at age 5, and say at age 20 or 30, they were found. And now they become a subject for scientists to study, and the scientists are trying to rehabilitate the now adult who was raised by wolves, but there's no neuronal pathways in their brain that teaches them about love for their fellow human being, language. There's no language. Like, you research about a feral child and you will see how extremely difficult it is that the child or the adult person who was raised as a child in the wild by animals, it does happen, it has happened, it's, you know, not common. It was more common like in the Industrial Revolution. It was more common during that time, but it's really happened. And studies have shown that these feral people have a really hard time comprehending basic skills, what we would consider basic skills, like eating with a knife and fork, using a plate, sleeping in a bed, wearing clothes, and having manners, forming sentences. Like the language, some of these people have formed, have been able to, you know, learn English or learn language, but their language structure is one or two words. They can't form a full sentence structure together. So it's like me eat, me sleep, you know, me Tarzan, you Jane. That's exactly how it is. And so the reason why I bring this up is because when you have somebody who isn't raised on love, there's no neural pathways to, in their brain that has the familiar pattern of feeling love, expressing love. There's just nothing there. So it's like throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing if it will stick. It's like you throw your love at the narcissist and it's not sticking, and they're indifferent to your love, and you keep trying to love them and love them and love them, and they're like, what is this? I don't get what this is. And they get upset and angry, and they're like, oh, it makes me feel uncomfortable because it's foreign to them. It's like you trying to learn another language. Maybe you've learned German, maybe you learned a little bit of Latin, maybe you've learned some French. But if you haven't stuck with it, you may remember a few sentences, maybe you still know a few words, but you can't expect to go into the community, into say a French community, and start speaking French when you haven't spoken it for 20 years. You have to relearn it. And if you've never spoken any language, like a feral child has, they have spoken their native language when they were 5 years old, but they lost that ability because their parents abandoned them, and they were, raised on the language of the wild, the language of animals. So their neural pathways atrophied and disintegrated where their native language was, because it wasn't continually used. So it disintegrated and atrophied, and it became non-existent. And so those pathways were replaced with the communication of their new surroundings, of communicating, of how dogs communicate or monkeys communicate. And so just think about this. If you were a child raised with, and you were not taught to speak, and there was nobody around you, you never heard speech, and you're alone in the jungle, and you're raised by wolves, even though you recognize, as you get older, you recognize, hey, I look different. But your mind cannot tell the difference between reality and fantasy. And your mind, your brain learned to adapt to stay safe. And these animals, the wolves or the monkeys, whatever, took care of you. Just think about that. The mind of a narcissist is, it's missing the main ingredient of love, empathy. And when it's not there, no amount of reasoning, no amount of love, no amount of caring will allow the narcissist to see love for what it is. It's foreign, and they become aggressive to it because they don't understand it. And because of they don't understand it, that's what becomes frustrating to them, and they start retaliating. You're smothering me. Oh, get away from me. You tell me you love me too much. Oh, quit hugging me. Like, oh, it's too much. You're too needy. And then we get upset because we assume that they're just like us, because they led us to believe that they are when they just mirrored us. A feral child knows how to mirror their environment. That's how they were able to stay safe amongst wolves. But put that feral child who's now an adult in a normal society, and it's foreign to them. That's an unsafe environment. And when you're in an unsafe environment, you're hypervigilant. And so the narcissist becomes hypervigilant with us, and we take it personal because they lied. They lied. So they learn to resent us because love isn't their language. Love demands vulnerability, and a narcissist will never get vulnerable because vulnerability for them is seen as weakness. And they can't. That's just that price is too much. Love demands presence. Well, the narcissist is not present with you. They're stuck in the past or the future. They won't ever experience the here and now with you. So they twist your love, mock your loyalty, and punish your heart for feeling too deeply. Why? Because this has everything to do with them, because your love reflects everything that they cannot be. And that's frustrating to them. We expose their frustration, and they're trying to hide their frustration. They have to live with themselves as they are, and they don't like themselves. So they have to find a way to get along with themselves. So what do? They become delusional in their delusions of grandeur. Oh, I'm so great. I'm better than everybody. They put themselves on a pedestal so that they don't have to relate to anybody, because they can't relate. And the more you try to connect with them, the more they push you away, the more they hate you. And it's just like, oh, get away from me. And they shame you in order to get you to distance yourself. And when they shame us, we try harder. That's exactly what they don't want. They shame us and devalue us in order to get us to step back. And they don't know how to communicate this. So they provoke us in order to get us, they push us away on purpose because we make them feel uncomfortable. And they'll even discard you because they can't take the closeness. The more they push you away, the more unconditional love says, here, let me embrace you. Let me help you through this. I love you. Love is the furthest thing from what they need and what they want. They want to harvest our negative energy. And they provoke us, they trigger us, because, they just can't handle us. They can't handle the truth that we live, and we can't handle the truth that they live. Just as the moon reflects the light of the sun, so does the mind reflect the light in the heart. Well said. I like that. Well said. Yeah. Resistor says they need your attention and they hate it. Yes. I like what you said, Invisible. Just as the moon reflects the light of the sun, and so does the mind reflect the light of the heart. Thank you for that. It's awesome. So Resistor says they cannot help but be jealous of everything and anyone. Yes, absolutely. They're very jealous because they can't relate to us. So they leave you before you leave them. That's how they stay in control. But that doesn't mean they forget you. They never really let go. They hoover or hover. They hoover you when they're ready to come back, but when they discard you, many of them hover in the background, keeping tabs on you while they get on with their life. They check in, they linger, because if they can't have your heart, they at least want your attention. And see, that's the thing. They want your heart to destroy it. Because it's a fact, whatever we don't understand, we avoid or destroy. That's human nature. You can see that everywhere. If we don't understand something, it's natural to fear what we do not know. And in that fear, either we run from it or we try to annihilate it. Without trying to understand it, we just try and, like wasps, or bees. Ah, there's a bee around me, it's gonna sting me. No, it's not. No, it's not. And wasps aren't natural. Well, they're buggers. They've got a temper, yes. But it's your flapping around that gets them agitated. It's like they're the narcissists of the insect world, because look at a narcissist. When you're agitated, they get agitated. But when you don't argue with a narcissist, and you don't give them a fight, they go away. So if the narcissist, if they linger and they stay in the background of your life, even though there's a discard, you may think, okay, well, this is the final straw. This is the breakup. There is no breakup in a narcissistic relationship. From the narcissist perspective, you are with the narcissist for life. And that doesn't mean just because you're broken up, it's like, how some couples sleep in different bedrooms or different beds. This is like the narcissist, how they think. Just because there's distance between the two of you doesn't mean they don't still own you. It could be 20 or 30 years and they'll come back. Joe says they want your total dedication. No sharing allowed. Yeah. So the thing is, every ounce of energy that you give the narcissist is fuel. Even from afar, even when they're not in your life, you're reflecting on them. You're saying, what a son of a bee sting. You're giving them fuel. You're giving into that anger. When you give into that heartbreak, when you hang on to gain closure, it just all feeds into the illusion that they still matter. And that's what they're looking for. because they know deep inside they have this hollow void. Think of a black hole. They're a black hole that is naturally magnetic to your energy and siphoning off your energy and sucking it into the black hole. That what is, well, I'm not sure what if they still think this about black holes, but I mean, when I was in school 20, 30 years ago in science class, they told us that if you went into the black hole, into the event horizon, you'd flatten like a pancake. So it's like, it's total destruction, total annihilation. So when you get to the point of, you think you're bonding with a narcissist, and no, you're not bonding. You're just getting sucked into that black hole. And all your attention, all your negative, unwanted feelings, just feed them. And it's keeping them alive and relevant. That's what they're seeking. They're seeking relevance. And if they can't get that from you, if you no longer see them as being relevant, they'll go to somebody else. They don't care. And let me say this, narcissists, oh my gosh. They're dangerous people because they lie, they cheat, they steal. Everything about them is fake and dangerous. But here's the really dangerous. If you're in a relationship with them, they're not safe. They don't vet the people that they're with, if you get my drift. They don't ask if you have some sort of, STD, or if you've had an STD. They don't ask if you've ever had a hepatitis, or if you ever were, intravenous, if you were like ever a needle drug user, shot it up in your arms or whatever. They don't vet. They don't even ask if you practice safe sex. They don't care. They think they're invincible. They don't care. And if they have something, they're not going to tell you that they have something. So they're dangerous people, and all they're looking for is to feel relevant. So what you have to do for your own safety is to starve that illusion. Not because you hate them, but because you love yourself enough to walk away from what is false, whatever is false. Tell yourself this. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself this. Whatever is false is danger to me. It's dangerous to me. You cannot change a falsehood into the truth. The narcissist is who they are. They are false to you, and they are false. They are liars. They are false prophets. They are false teachers. They are false friends, false confidants. There's no camaraderie between you and them. None whatsoever. Whatever is false is dangerous to you because you are a child of the light. Joe says, oh, they demand to be relevant. Exactly. Invisible says that they are destroyers of anything good, beautiful that others create. Exactly. Resistor says they have no control. Exactly. Yeah. Rejection is where they really lose it. Exactly, resistor. And narcissists do not just abuse people emotionally. They attack the divine nature in you. You know, sin, God tells us that, you know, the wages of sin lead to death. It's like, okay, you know, when Jesus was confronted with the devil in the desert, and the devil said, well, take these stones and make them bread. Well, it's kind of like the narcissist when they enter into your life, because they don't vet, like they don't vet you, they don't ask you the important questions, and you don't think to ask the important questions from them because you think they're safe. They lead you to believe that they are safe. But it's like when you get sick, where are they? Are they praying for you? Are they praying to God to help heal you? No, they're like, this is not my problem. They'll abandon you when you are on your deathbed and when you've been given a diagnosis that is like dire. They'll leave you to deal with it. There's no making you chicken soup and feeding you broth, you know, from the spoon. You know, you could have 105 fever and they wouldn't care. But then as soon as they get sick, oh, you got to take care of them. It's like they're, I don't know what it is, but it's like they're trying to test your divinity. Oh, let's see if God will heal you. You don't need me. God will heal you. God will deal with that. Exactly, they will let you die. Yep. Joe says false, 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 false. Exactly, false, 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 false. And whatever is false is dangerous. Write that down. Invisible says we must realize some will never change. Set serious boundaries. Exactly. They're dangerous. Like dangerous, dangerous. Like this isn't just about your heart. This is about your soul here we're talking about. And, you know, you don't think that there's a, well, this is spiritual warfare, and you never think that there's, you know, the battlefield is not beautiful, right? It's absolutely ugly. But there is a beauty of spiritual warfare, and that is that it awakens spiritual warriors, and you're a spiritual warrior. And yet, if you've been through this kind of an abuse and you're still standing, freaking bravo. Like seriously. Like you're getting your crown. You've got your crown. You know, in Revelation it says that we get crowns. Our prize is crowns, and we toss our crowns at the feet of Jesus. Well, when you're still standing, you're a freaking soldier for Jesus. Well done. And I mean that. Like the world needs more of you. So I'm here to tell you, you're not broken. Toss that thought out of your mind right now, because that's not real. That's false, and that whatever is false is dangerous, and it's dangerous for you to think like that you're broken and you're not whole. That's dangerous for you. Every time you reclaim your peace, your voice, your truth, you're taking back the ground that was stolen from you. You're taking back your divinity, your divine right. As we've said here on this channel before, you have diplomatic immunity because you are a citizen of heaven. So I'm here to tell you, don't regret the time that you spent with the narcissist. Don't even give them that. Continue to love. Continue to bask in the glory that you were still able to love the narcissist even after everything that they threw at you and did to you and put on you. God was able to heal you. Excuse me. God was able to heal you, both body, mind, and spirit. You know, maybe the narcissist came home with, something, some sort of illness, and God kept you safe from getting sick. We have no idea how many times God has saved us from the trouble-making, havoc-creating narcissist, the crazy-making narcissist. And you don't have to sit here and regret loving the narcissist. You mourn it, you grieve the loss of that relationship, yes. But this experience is what taught you to stop abandoning yourself, as we talked about this the other day in a live. That the narcissist reflects something in us, reflects our own narcissism that we've not really been able to see in ourselves as we become a narcissist to ourselves. So the narcissist, is responsible for a lot of things, but God does turn things around, and he's turning what the narcissist does. He turns that around for our favor, and that is to see how we've been ignoring ourselves and abusing ourselves. And the narcissist is teaching us to stop abandoning ourselves. And that experience wakes us up to what is real, wakes us up to the truth. Whatever is false is dangerous for you. You're not false, you're real. And who you are matters, and who you are is truth. And the narcissist showed you what kind of love you are capable of giving. The narcissist revealed to you exactly who you are. You are an unconditionally loving being, from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. And all you got to do now is start loving yourself that way, in unconditional love with no judgment. And when you do that, you're recognizing what love truly is. Because you don't just feel love, you are to become the state of being of love. And that recognition, that clarity is what sets you free. The raging river of fear, my friends, is running through us all. The mind is like a battlefield, memories full of fall. Wow. Okay, where'd you get that from? Did you come up with that? Or is that from like Rumi or some other ancient philosopher? That's very poetic, very nice. I like that. Thank you, Invisible. So, yeah. Joe says the narc turns us to seek being closer to God. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So the narcissist doesn't win. Your ego wants to believe that they do, but they don't. The narcissist just repeats. What they did to you, they will do to other people. And they're going to repeat this over and over and over again. Same game, different faces. But you're going to evolve. You grow, you transmute pain into your power. You don't need to get even. You just need to get clear with yourself. Clear on what you are, what you want, who you are, where you're going in life. You get clear on who they are as well. You get clear on what you will no longer tolerate. You get clear on what you no longer will ignore. And that's the beginning of true freedom. not just surviving narcissistic abuse, but reclaiming your soul from it, because they never owned your light. They never owned you, but the narcissist says, oh, I own you. When you hear that, oh, that's a red flag that you do not take the relationship any further. You start planning your getaway when you hear that. The narcissist is just a borrowed reflection of you. They cannot be you. They never will be you. They don't want to be you. They just want to overpower you. But let the discard, let that speak volumes as to who they really are and as to who you are. Because their discard is setting you free so that you can return home to God. And when you start healing, you become whole, wiser, and spiritually unfreaking stoppable. So this is amazing. You know, it's working, like it takes work. It doesn't, you know, healing doesn't happen overnight, but you know, it's necessary. Like you have to allow yourself to heal, and you heal your way, but healing is the only way to move forward. If you don't allow yourself to heal and deal with the feelings that you have, you're going to stay stuck and stagnant, excuse me, and you're going to have a bitter root come a hold on to your heart and mind, and it's going to keep you stuck, and it's going to prevent you from growing in your life. And then you're going to be like, you know, just so embittered, blame the narcissist. Why, if it wasn't for them, I would be here. It's been 20 years. And no, you got to let that thread go. Yes, the narcissist is to blame for a lot of things, but right now that you're in the discard, now that they're not in your life as much anymore, you've got to take charge of your life and say yes to you and start living in your truth. Because again, whatever is false is a danger to you, and you've got to see the falsehoods for what they are. You're not a loser. You're not a nobody. You're not unworthy. You are not discarded. You are not abandoned. You may be a little bit afraid, and that's okay. But you are not anything that the narcissist says you are. And you can't even take what they said, the good things about you, you can't even believe it. And that shows you that you don't need to, as we shouldn't, be looking to other people to find our worth. When a narcissist says, oh, you're so special, or you're the best person, you're like, oh, I'll freaking show you how good I am. I'll be better than what you ever expected. That's how you get the comeuppance on the narcissist. That's the best revenge, is to be the best that you can be, not for the narcissist, not to show them, but be the best you can be for you. And for the people in your life who are counting on you, because guess what? You are the one who is meant to undo the generational curse in your genealogy. In your line, in your bloodline, yep, it's you. Why? Because you're tough stuff. Because you can do this. You're the only one that can do this. So that says a lot right there. So well done. Well done. So Captain, okay, so you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Okay. So thank you for watching this video with me, and I'd like to just, if you guys want to hang with me a few more minutes longer, our evening videos, we usually cap our videos off with some scripture. So where did Cynthia go? She's not saying much here in the chats, is she? She might be busy, but hi Cynthia, if you're still here. Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. And you know, if you guys are looking for help on how to heal or how to step away from the narcissist, or maybe you're looking for, you know, they did something or something happened and you need to clarify, you need understanding, you need to talk, I'm here. There is a link in the description of this video that will give you a link to set up an appointment with me, a one-on-one session, hour-long session where we can, you know, just chit-chat as I will mentor you and offer some peer support. I'll never tell you what to do. I'm not here to judge. Just offering you some perspective that maybe you couldn't see before. And, you know, you walk away from our meeting, you know, with encouragement and self-assurance and bravery and courage. And you take what you learn and you do what you need to do with it. And that's what we're here for. So, oh, hi, Cynthia. There you are, girl. I was wondering where you were. You're here. Oh, good. It's nice to see you. I'm glad you stuck around. So, Invisible says they usually say love you, rarely. You know that too. See, that's what really bugs me. I can't stand it when people say, love you. And it's like my ex-husband used to say, love ya. Like, no, I love you. And why is that? Is that too much effort to say, I love you? And they say, love ya. So it's a way to distance themselves because they don't love you. And when you say, yeah, it's like, it's less personal. So obviously when they don't say I, they're not personalizing their feelings for you. And you are no longer you, it's ya, like you're an acquaintance. Like ya is such a slang term that is like, you're not even on even terms, like with them. So it's like they have totally, when a narcissist says, love ya, is they have totally separated themselves from you and totally do not see you as a person, as an individuated individual. It is totally, that word ya is totally towards objectification. They see you as an object. So they depersonalize the word you by making it ya, Y-A, love ya. It's like you're an item of insignificance. And it just, I can't, when someone says that, I have to say something. I'll look at them and I'll say, I love you. Is that hard for you to say? Because if you don't mean it, don't say it. So, hey, Grace, nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. So we're going to do a little bit of a Bible reading tonight. We usually cap off our nightly videos. And, we're doing 2 Timothy. That's what I opened the Bible up to. The appeal renewed. You then, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Christ Jesus, and the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others. Join with me in suffering like a good soldier of Christ Jesus. Ooh. No one serving as a soldier gets entangled in civilian affairs, but rather tries to please his commanding officer. Oh, that's interesting. Similarly, anyone who competes as an athlete does not receive the victor's crown except by competing according to the rules. The hard-working farmer should be the first to receive a share of the crops. Reflect on what I am saying, for the Lord will give you insight into all of this. Remember Jesus Christ, raised from the dead, descended from David. This is my gospel for which I am suffering, even to the point of being chained like a criminal. But God's word is not chained. Therefore, I endure everything for the sake of the elect, that they too may obtain the salvation that is in Christ Jesus with eternal glory. There is a trustworthy saying, if we died with him, we also live with him. If we endure, we will also reign with him. If we disown him, he will also disown us. If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot disown himself. See, he's in us, so God cannot disown us even when we are unfaithful. He's faithful to his word. So he's always going to lead us correctly. Keep reminding God's people of these things. Warn them before God against quarreling about words. It is of no value and only ruins those who listen. Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly handles the word of truth. Avoid godless chatter, because those who indulge in it will become more and more ungodly. Their teaching will spread like gangrene. Among them are Hymenaeus and Philetus, who have departed from the truth. They say that the resurrection has already taken place, and they destroy the faith of some. Nevertheless, God's solid foundation stands firm, sealed with his inscription. The Lord knows those who are his, and everyone who confesses the name of the Lord must turn away from wickedness. In a large house, there are articles of only gold and silver, but also of wood and clay. Some are for special purposes, and some are for common use. Those who cleanse themselves from the latter will be instruments for special purposes, made holy, useful to the master, and prepared to do any good work. Flee the evil desires of your youth and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord out of a pure heart. Don't have anything to do with foolish and stupid arguments, because you know they produce quarrels. So stay silent in front of the narcissist. And the Lord's servant must not be quarrelsome, but must be kind to everyone, able to teach, not resentful. Opponents must be gently instructed in the hope that God will grant them repentance, leading them to a knowledge of the truth, and that they will come to their senses and escape from the trap of the devil who has taken them captive to do his will. Wow, thank you, Lord, for this reading. That was Timothy, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1 through 20. So thank you, everyone. Yes, Yoel, hi, nice to see you. God is with us. God is with us, Emmanuel. We are insignificant to them. We only are of monetary value to them, says Joe, speaking about the narcissist. Yes. Yes, Scarlett says, my dad used to say it to me. Yes, love ya. Yes. So I'm saying this, I love you, Scarlett, and I love all of you. You guys are awesome. I love you, Scarlett, and I love all of you. Flee from evil. It stalks us, sadly. Yes. That's why we have to understand and get mindful and stay in this moment of now. Deep breathing keeps us grounded in the moment of now, where there's no past, there's no future. All exists is the eternal moment of now, because this now created the past, as moments of now built up on each other and created the moments of the past, and moments of now build up on each other to create moments of the future. So past and future are intangible, but the moment of now is all that we have here. So we stay rooted and grounded in it, and when we are rooted and grounded in it, we are able to be more mindful of the thoughts that we think, and we are able to be more in control of those negative thoughts and kick them out and rebuke them and say, no, God, I only want to think thoughts that you want me to think about. I don't want to think about negative thoughts. So we have this control. It's not taken away from us. So Yes. Moment of now is the key. Loves all of you too. Amazing people. Yes, you too. So with that said, I want to say thank you everyone for joining me tonight, and I hope that this video has helped you, even though it's been a repeat or a revision. Maybe you learned something new, a little bit deeper, and just understand that whatever is false is dangerous to you. Just remember that whatever is false is a danger to you. So thank you everyone for joining, and it's nice to see you newcomers. Please like this video. We are here twice a day, 1 o'clock in the afternoon and 10 o'clock in the evening, Eastern Standard Time, every single day. So there are important links in the description of this video. If you want to support this ministry, there is a donation link to PayPal, as your donations help us to stay here twice a day. And if you guys want to get in on a one-on-one session, coaching, peer mentorship session with me, the link is in the description of this video. If you have comments, questions, or suggestions, or you have a video topic that you want us to discuss, please send all your email correspondence to shannongilmore@protonmail.com. And I look forward to seeing you. Shannon, can you read Proverbs 4, verse 8? Okay, we'll do that before we leave. Proverbs, verse 4 and 8. Where are we? Okay. Proverbs, verse 4 and 18, sorry. Chapter 4, verse 18. All right. The path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. But the way of the wicked is like deep darkness. They don't know what makes them stumble. Wow. That's really interesting. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Yoel. So, my son, pay attention to what I say. Turn your ear to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Ooh. Something moved. Interesting. Kind of scared me. So, sounded like a book on my bookshelf behind me. So, do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them and health to one's whole body. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Keep your mouth free from perversity. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. Wow. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Osgood, nice to see you. So with that said, everyone, thank you, everyone. It's so nice to see you, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. Until then, God bless you so much, and I love you. I love you. You love me. Okay, stop. That's Barney. I love you guys. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. God bless. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.